So it's a good thing my birthday is just before spring, because this year I realized the perfect birthday gift. Soil. So let's take a look at what I got this year. So this is specifically for our potting mix and also amendments for our red clay soil. And let's look at what we have here. This is for pots. This is our substrate. This is our added phosphorus. This is our fertilizer. This is our soil conditioner for the amending the clay. This is our filler for the clay beds. And this is our fertilizer for later on in the year. The coolest thing about all this is that it is pretty much vegan. This is something that we got before I got this haul. So this is actually total raised bed soil. However, I wasn't too excited about it because it's Miracle Grow, but we wanted to get something just in case we needed to plant early and we didn't know that we were going to get all this. If you like the idea of a solid, no harm soil mix, hit that like button. So something that's been really frustrating as I've been gardening, since I started gardening, is realizing that though I eat mostly plant-based and I don't eat any meat, pretty much most soil and soil additives have some sort of animal product, such as feather meal, bone meal, blood meal, lobster meal, shellfish meal. All sorts of things that come from animals come from actually killing animals for those things. So I've been really frustrated, but I finally decided this year that I was going to really be more serious about it and try to find stuff that has no animal products other than poop, guano, bat guano, and earthworm castings. So I went to the local hydroponics store, one of my favorite stores in the world, and I spoke with a guy there, and they always know what they're talking about. They're very, very into it. That's their profession and their passion. And so I spoke with him, and he spent like 30 minutes grinding his gears for a vegan mix or plant-based, no harm mix. And he had never done that before. So he actually discovered a mix that he had never thought of, that he was super excited about. And he was actually said he was jealous of me for getting it. But that he plans on selling that from now on at the store as one of his top mixes. He came up with a in-ground mix for amending our clay soil and adding to that. And he came up with a potting mix for us. There's actually two versions of the in-ground mix. One is for our root vegetables, which is beets, carrots, and radish. And then one is for our greens and brassicas. So what we have here is our Happy Frog soil conditioner, which we actually used last year in our in-ground bed, and it did amazing. It amended the soil nicely, and everything that grew in there grew well. It is super legitimate, and actually all of these are as organic as you can get for soil. This is our SunGrow substrate for our potting mix, which we will be adding the Seabird Guano to, and then also some vegan mix, which is our fertilizer. We'll be adding this to it as well. Our substrate, well, our filler for the in-ground beds is this Pro Mix here. And our fertilizer, our flowering fertilizer, so once things start flowering and fruiting, this is our fertilizer. It's molasses. And he was super excited about this mix that he made for me, and I was super excited about it as well. The only thing that is not plant-based or poop-based is our Miracle Grow, which we got before we knew that we would be getting all of this. Miracle Grow. I'm sure it has some stuff in it. I'm not exactly sure what. But we weren't having the luxury of being picky. But my mom stepped up and helped out the garden by offering to buy me a birthday present. And she's like, what do you want? Anything in the world, as long as I can afford it. And I said, how about some soil? And she was like, yeah, I can get you some dirt. So she got us all this. And this was actually not very expensive for how much it is and for how much it will cover in the garden. It's cheaper than last year. Last year, I ended up spending a lot more on pre-mixed bags of soil, which also were not vegan, though they were super powerful soil mixes and did great in the garden. I would rather them be vegan. I would actually 100% prefer them to be no harm mixes. Last year was a lot more expensive buying those pre-mixed bags. We also bought soil conditioner, and we also bought green sand to amend the clay soil, just a little bit of that. And we also had coconut coir. And it did amazing, but it was super expensive. Like, I'm talking like double what this is, and it wasn't as much volume. So this is definitely more bang for your buck, and it's plant-based. It's not the cheapest that it gets, but this is pretty much the cheapest you can get for growing anything that you might want and growing it very well. I figure this will be paid back. The amount we grew last year in our garden would be paid back by this amount. However, we were super slacking last year. We're probably, as long as we stay motivated this year, we'll be growing 5 times more in cost value of vegetables in our garden. So this being a little cheaper, this is essentially, this is a 10 times better investment into our garden than we made last year. So what we're going to be doing today, me and Nesa are going to be filling in our beds, the outdoor clay beds. We're going to be filling those in with the ground mix. And then sometime probably early April, we'll be making, or maybe even sooner, we'll be making our potting mix for our herbs. And then, of course, other things will go in there eventually, like peppers and like probably eggplant. Anyways, yeah, so that's what we hauled from the hydroponics store. I'm super excited about it. I couldn't be happier that I got this no harm mix, and that it is going to be banging in our garden. So, yeah. You want to come here in the video?
Yes. I'm doing an important thing.
What's that?
An obstacle race.
Okay, you're making an obstacle race? Anyways, that's what I have for this midweek update. On Sundays at noon comes out the full vlog, as long as I can get it done by that point. I'm working on getting that every week at Sunday at noon. But make sure you, if you enjoy our gardening vlog and content, you hit that subscribe button below, turn notification bell to all, so that you're aware of all of our future videos as we work on building our homestead and as we work on facilitating a worldwide large-scale charity farms network.